look, obviously a difficult, tough game. They beat us, pretty much in all three phases. We didn't do a good enough job coaching. We lost to a good football team, and it's disappointing. There were a number of things that you could look back, prior to the half, we have a chance possibly to win 17-10. They score before the half, get the ball back. So we had trouble possessing it the way we needed to offensively, and it kind of fell into, I mentioned at the start of the week, some of the numbers can be a little misleading relative to what they do well defensively, because you end up in a game where you have to become one-dimensional, and obviously that happened to us today. So, any questions?
You mentioned it, but that stretch where you kicked the field goal with 54 seconds left in the half, but then they score 14 essentially before you get a real possession back. How critical?
I was there.
Yeah. How?
I mean, it's a big swing. When you play a good team like this on the road, you're wanting to get it into the fourth quarter, and we weren't able to do that.
You were aggressive going forward on fourth down in the first half. Is that because they're a high-scoring unit?
Yep.
You felt you had to keep up with
I think there's some games where your palate has to change, and certainly we felt this was one of those games. And that can vary based on the opponent, but yeah, to answer your question.
Is that why you went tempo a lot too early?
Yeah, we were in and out of it. We felt on film and doing some of the report studies, it calmed down some of the pressure looks, and so we had some success with it, and other times it all sounds good, and then when you go 3 and out, it doesn't sound as good, and your defense is right back on the field. So I think we tried to in a few different series feature it. But look, we got beat today. We didn't do nearly enough things well enough. And again, against a good football team, we turned it over on the first drive again. Defensively, we stood out and ended up forcing a punt. We were fortunate there.
Were you surprised, though, the defense didn't hold up a little bit more? Where did they fall short?
I don't listen. We'll watch the film. Look, this is a tough league. When we do our meeting tomorrow and we say, all right, if we played them again next week, what would we have done differently? We have to ask ourselves those questions. Certainly that would be one of them. He's too good a player.
How did you feel about his composure in the pocket? Because there were some plays that maybe in the old days he would have taken off and ran, but he stayed in the pocket, completed the pass.
I wasn't. I mean, we were into the game. I wasn't. He was the offensive player of the year. I mean, so I felt his composure looked pretty composed.
Coach, you said all three phases were pretty much beat, including coaching. What do you think?
Yeah, look, you have to look inward. You have to start with yourself. And any time you go into a game and you look at your work week, you look at your preparation, and if you don't, then everything I just finished telling those guys isn't true. You have to look at, just there's certain things you have to look at, and I think it's important to do that to improve.
When you talk about you going in Monday, it's not going to taste good tomorrow, how much can you potentially improve from a loss like this if you really take it the right way?
Yeah, I think, look, we've had tough losses. I think that it gets back to that grit, and sometimes embracing the misery a little bit. And you just can't bullshit yourself, including the head coach or any of us. We got to be able to say, hey, we get on that plane, we go back to work tomorrow. It's one of the tough things about our league. So as great as winning on the road is, and I say on the road because when you win on the road, you're with your team longer. You win at home, and then, pretty much after the locker room empties, you go your own way. When you win on the road, you spend more time with your team. And then as high as that feeling is, it's the opposite when you don't. So, but But that's where we're at.
Can it hurt, be helpful that way to the learning, this many new guys as they progress?
Listen, I hope, and this is what I said to them, I hope, when I'm long finished, that they learn after they're finished playing, that how to handle the adversity that might come up in so many other areas of their life. And so, we got to walk into it, and it's tough and difficult, but it's a trait that I think can be pretty powerful, and is a responsibility for us as teachers to work on, and we have to do it ourselves as well.